Okay, we are with family over on Facebook, everybody. Excellent.
Hey, everybody.
And I'm going to just wait for a moment to record while we just get people jumping in, saying hello. I know we've had lots of people talking about upcoming travel. I don't know, but I think there's no like issues with weather and traveling. I think things are like great most places right now.
Yeah, I mean, weather travel's pretty good. The threat of the government shutdown could throw a wrench in it all, but hey, if it's not one thing, it's another, right?
You know, who needs to leave their house anyways? It's overrated.
Exactly. Right.
Movement,
Uh,
sunshine, relationships, community. Who needs them?
right. Oh my gosh.
What did we learn from the past 3 to 4 years? Holy smokes.
Exactly. Just make your plans, make them happen.
That's
Go
it.
with gusto.
I was recently talking to some friends, and I know we heard in other countries a lot of things about them not being able to leave their homes and stuff, but you kind of, if you don't live it, you kind of forget about it, or I don't know. And I was just hearing them talk about what it was like if they would go out to the grocery store. They would literally be pelleted, and
Yeah.
I'm not thinking, I just can't even imagine the control. We thought we were
Yeah.
in, had a lot of control here. I was just like, where? I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah. It's crazy when you hear that because we didn't really hear about it. And then when someone says this was our experience in our country, and we have basically some PTSD around it because you couldn't go out to the store without getting a rubber bullet shot at you. And once I heard that, then I started looking more into that, and other countries did have that same kind of implementation of control and isolation. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well,
You
and
got
what
to
I
go
would
out with
say to
gusto.
everybody, right? No matter what happens, twofold, you guys. I hope since whatever has been happened to now, you've taken more control of your health than ever before. I mean, that is like so imperative, right? And I also hope you've made some financial decisions in your life to take more control of your life. Because if you were only relying on your one source of income that you couldn't go to or get business from, or it was a drastic change, and you didn't like learn from that and do something differently moving forward, it's not too late. You better start doing something differently moving forward, because something else will come our way one day.
Absolutely.
Just saying,
Absolutely.
right? Like,
Yeah.
holy
Yeah.
cow.
I think that your first point was, and should be, the takeaway message is we cannot rely on someone coming in and saving us. Um, we have to take control of our health. It's the only truth, right? Because there's so many questions of what was true, what wasn't, and all that stuff, misinformation. Your truth is your health, and taking control of that now will prevent any sort of, I don't know, negative fear and negative side effects of anything that we could run into. And I think that was the big takeaway, is like, okay, you can do this. You
You
got
can,
to do it. There isn't a choice.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. 100%. Well, you guys, I want to welcome Dr. Heidi and welcome her back. It's so fun every week to be with her and with everybody. And honestly, we just kind of have fun and we celebrate. And our goal is to make a difference, right?
Yeah, absolutely. At least we can try, right? We're going to try to make that
We're
difference.
going to try to make a difference. I guess it's up to each and every one of you guys to take some information and apply it, use it, experiment, do something. But we hope it was helpful. And maybe if it doesn't sit with you, it sits with somebody else that needs to hear this. And maybe next week it's more for you. But really, we want to come on and talk about the actionable steps that you can do to improve your health. And earlier, kind of before the show, the pre-show to the show, we were really talking about health is the one thing that we are in control of.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
And many of you take it a little bit lightly. And it was very interesting because I started a group of women this morning and we just were talking about mindset in relation to health. And if you haven't made a clear plan and your mindset about what your own health looks like and that you are going to take control, it's like that life's upon you and you let your health just happen willy-nilly.
Yeah. And then, yeah, and then you're left scrambling, frustrated, having poor self-confidence, poor self-image. And it's not about that. It's, and then we go to desperate measures to try to get that back, as if there was a magic pill, a magic procedure, any of that. It's not going to do it. Beauty comes within, strength comes from within, power comes from within. And we just decide to go in that direction, to do the things and ignore the things that pull us back, as yummy, as delicious, as fun as they may seem.
Oh my gosh. Well, as always, Dr. Heidi, thanks so much for being here. What you bring to the audience and to everybody is absolutely invaluable. So let's kind of go deeper on that topic right now of taking control of your health and not letting you kind of sabotage yourself, because it is the time of year that we're leading into the holidays. And this is probably the number one time of year that people accidentally or very much purposely let them self-sabotage themselves when it comes to their health. And I think the obvious people see is food choices that start to come up. But in a minute, why don't we talk about preparing today, right? So there's no resolution in the future because you're making it now. That if you are managing yourself and telling you, well, I'm a healthy person, I'm a mindful person, I'm in control of my health. Therefore, even when things get hectic and busy, I'm going to prioritize my sleep. I'm going to be sure I'm moving my body a little bit. And I'm going to be mindful of my choices that I'm eating, because we all need to eat. That's the truth.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't think you need to do a whole 180 on all of it. And if you do a 180 on all of it, then you'll really have poor self-doubt, self-esteem, wanting the shiny object come January.
Yeah, absolutely. That resolution will actually look like something.
Why did I do this again?
It's only been 45 years and I'm still doing it.
I'm still doing this, right? I think that's where people are moving away from New Year's resolutions. So let's talk about that. Like, there is no need for a New Year's resolution, because ultimately, Dr. Heidi, right, you want to challenge the viewers to say, make the decision today. Decide.
Right.
How are we moving into this busy time?
Yeah, exactly. It's, we hear so much about mindset, but it's really about a decision and sometimes it's a decision you make often, right? You get challenged with things. You get that beautiful cake pushed in front of you. You get the, oh, come on, have one more drink. You get these challenges. And that's where the decision is now, where you just say, I'm just going to say no. I'm just going to say no. Here's what I want people to really sort of take on board. When we think of the holidays, we think that it's bad food and it's too much food, and that we just can't control it because it's the holidays, right? But all of the food we're eating is not bad food. I mean, if you get a clean turkey, a clean roast beef, whatever you choose for your serving, just make sure it's organic, it's clean, no GMO, no hormones. Go ahead and have the potatoes, the smashed potatoes, or make a sweet potato. These things are really healthy as long as they're organic, clean, et cetera, et cetera. You don't have to feel guilty eating that. And having a little bit more than you normally would, again, not the thing that's going to tip the scale, unless, like Kellie said, you stop working out, you stop getting good sleep. We can't let all the wheels fall off the bus, but we can shift the balance a little bit. And we start with the eating, but the hardest part is going to be the eating, but keep up the rest of it as well.
Because I find that when I've slept well and when I've stayed on my, fitness regime, then I'm also going to make better decisions.
Absolutely.
my food choices, right? We
Absolutely.
haven't slept and we're a little bit like, not ourselves and not making the best decisions, or we haven't worked out. Then we're just like, oh, forget it. Why not? I'll just, whether you know it or not, you're probably even going to make a different decision. This is
Yeah.
a thought, Heidi. You know, a friend of mine was saying she's moved into an area and they're having lots of gatherings. It's been so fun. They're in a retirement community, but a young retirement community. So people are doing a lot of stuff. Now you might just be a family of young kids, and it's also kind of that like sports, holiday things, gathering, cookie parties. And so no matter where you're falling, it's definitely a time for a lot of gathering.
Mhm.
And so she was just saying that she was finding that she was having to throw away all this extra food that she had bought at her house that was all sitting there tempting her. So my challenge is, if you're the host or you're bringing something to a place, bring something that supports your body. Buy things that you would have anyway, right? So that you don't need to throw them all away. Or like, why are
Absolutely.
you serving this to everybody anyway? I think sometimes it's like, oh, but we're supposed to have this at a party. So
Right.
there's no supposed to. Who's writing those rules, right?
Right. Those rules were written, I don't know what, hundreds of years ago, right? You decide, you create the ambiance, what you want in your body, what you want to give your friends. It is about community. It is about love. It's about what we do for others. And so what are we doing for others? Are we feeding them good, nutritious meals, substances, etc.? Are we leading them down a sort of a not so good pathway, not so healthy pathway? Because we feel this pressure. What I just I don't understand the pressure, so I'm not a good one to speak about it. Uh, I'm horrible at that, but I just don't feel the pressure. Like, okay, you could. I don't. Yeah. So all that to say, I'm kind of stumbling over my words, but um, choose what you want and choose what you want to give to others. And I think if you make a choice from the heart like that, you're always going to choose right.
Yes. Yes. I really love that. And you guys, if you have made up your mind today, okay, I hope you've made up your mind. And like Heidi said, you may be making decisions every day and multiple times a day, but if your overarching goal has been made, that you're a healthy individual, I am in control of my life, I can make my choices, then when things get really busy, you might say, hey, I'm going to catch up with you guys later. I'm still going to catch my 30-minute workout, right? Like, don't let everything determine you. You have to stay in control. You know what? I'm going to bring my Hydro Flask with me everywhere. And so you're always full of water. Even if you have another drink, you're still consuming and you're in your rhythm per se.
Mhm.
Because I think it's when we get too far off the rhythm that then we really don't feel well.
Exactly. And then not feeling well, we end up making worse and worse decisions or just less beneficial decisions because it just gets harder. I mean, you stay up late. We've all experienced, we've stayed up late, had too much to eat, maybe had a little bit more alcohol than we normally would. The next day, what do you want? Tacos, migas. What do you want? I mean, right? You want to go for the carb, you want to go for the greasy. Would you do that any other time? Probably not, right?
Yeah, probably
But
not.
definitely we start craving carbs, we start craving sugars when we get into these places. But if we get up and move, we get up, drink plenty of water. I love that point. For every drink, you got to have a drink of water. Just kind of balance it out. It's about the balance and not the swing so far one way or the other.
Wow, you guys. So I think this was like a challenge for us, right? Like, are you ready today to make your New Year's resolution? And whether you're watching this, November 15th or it's December 1st or December 25th, or I don't know, maybe you're not even watching this or listening to this till after the first of the year. But make the decision and honor you that says, I'm going to stay true to myself and not let all the wheels fall off the bus. I'm going to
Yeah.
maybe get a little unsteady. It might be a little shaky now or then, but I'm not going to let all the wheels fall off the bus. So if you were to just kind of like give somebody like the the holiday guide, what would be maybe people to keep top of mind from this point forward into these first, like really end of this year and early next year of keep these on track? Like, what would you be your top, 2 or 3 or 4 things?
Yeah, such a great one. So I think what I would say, top one is keep your sleep rhythm. You may stay up late, a couple nights here or there, but try to get back into your rhythm as quickly as possible. We have to recover from day to day. And when we recover, we sleep well, recover well, our brain does better, our organs do better, our bowels do better. It's just overall a better way to start each day, having rested and recovered. The next one I would say is, yes, definitely food, but I kind of wanted second is say hydrate. I don't think most people don't hydrate well on any time, but especially during holidays when we're cheating a little bit here, having a little bit of sugar there, having a little bit more food than we normally would here. It really pulls on that hydration system. So hydrate well, hydrate continually.
And Dr. Heidi,
And when it's in colder weather, we don't feel
that's true.
the dehydration. And so you also have to be just a little if you're in a colder area, not Texas where it's hot, be more mindful of hydrating,
So let me
even
ask
when you
you
don't
this.
feel like it.
People are out and about maybe more throughout the holidays, and often at somebody's house they're given like a plastic bottle of water, or there's a lot of restaurant water, or you might not always have the best clean source of water. So speaking of hydration, because I know this has been a really hot topic, is a lot of people are drinking water but are not, they're still underhydrated. So
Yeah.
what can people do to help their hydration status other than just drink a bunch of water that really doesn't have the, minerals that our body needs to actually be hydrated?
Yeah. So there's good quality electrolytes out there that you can use that aren't high in sugar. I like Ultima. They have a lot of different flavors. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, just recommending. There's a product called Axio, which is really wonderful for your mind and your body, fills you up. The LMNT, if you're more of a heavy sweater, that would be the one to choose. I don't like things like Liquid IV. It's just loaded with sugar. So think about that. The other thing is you can have flat water, but you could also have a mineral water. So they have a little bit more minerals in them that could help with that. So if you have flat and fizzies, as I call it, flat and fizzy, and kind of do that combination, the hydration or the electrolytes or the minerals in the water will help bind the water better to your tissues so that you are hydrated and not just peeing it out.
Yeah. Because I think that's what a lot of people are finding is they're like, oh, no, I'm drinking a lot. And they're like, oh, my esthetician said I'm so hydrated. Oh, somebody said I'm so hydrated, but you're drinking a ton. I think a lot of times it's because the water we're drinking isn't mineralized enough for us to use it. So we're actually just peeing it straight away.
Peeing it straight out. Yeah, absolutely. So, and if you have to have bottled water, I really would choose, something like a Fiji water or something higher in mineral content, or higher in alkaline content, just because water in plastic bottles, it's just not good. A lot of chemicals. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we'll do a deep dive on plastics, you guys, another time, because I do think it is everywhere and they're hearing about plastics, but they're nothing's like said, like, wake up, like really don't drink out of plastics because it's everywhere. I mean, as you and I talked a long time ago is, every once in a blue moon, I don't do it often, but I like to go to Starbucks to get a, little cup of coffee that I normally wouldn't get. But the plastic, the hot water in plastic I'm like, oh my gosh, right? I should not be doing this. Like, bring my coffee cup, or there's just things that we need to be a little more mindful of because we're being bombarded a lot. And I think that there's so many plastics hidden everywhere that we're just like, oh my God, it's here and here and here. How do we get away from all of this? So we'll take a deeper dive, you guys, at another time, because it's a very important topic and a little misunderstood.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then So hydration would be third. And then number 3, I would say, it's just watch the foods. Like, I encourage people, eat your protein. So if you have roast beef, if you have, as long as they're clean, non-GMO, do that for yourself, do that for your guests. Bring one with you if you're in charge of it, and eat it. Eat that protein. Just don't hold back. Eat that protein, and then load up on the veggies as well as salads. But you want a combination of raw veggies as well as steamed veggies. You don't want just salads, thinking that's low calorie, I'll lose weight. No, you need the whole spectrum, right? So focus on proteins, focus on good fats, and then your veggies. And the veggies need to be a combination. So have a little bit of those cakes, have a little bit of the sugar, a little bit of the alcohol. Again, enjoy. But when you cut a pie, it doesn't need to be this big of a piece. Do this and just savor it. Enjoy.
You will enjoy it so much, you guys. So I think what I'm gonna like dig into that last tip, you guys, is if you are bringing stuff to someone's house, don't swing by the grocery store last minute and buy something pre-done. Just bring some great fresh vegetables, bring some great nuts or olives, or, you know what I mean? There's so much that you could bring that it's not this store-bought, really poor choice food that we just don't even need. Yeah.
It's loaded with gluten and chemicals and flavoring, and we don't even know if it's real.
We don't even know if it's real. And I will say, only because this literally just happened today, is some family for us came in town, and I made these pumpkin chocolate chip sea salt cookies, but they're gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan. They're made with tahini. Like my family couldn't believe what they were eating, but the conversation was, yes, this is a healthier option, but you still shouldn't have 5. Right. Because they wanted more, right? And they were already like decent size. So I like had one and I was going to put them away, and they wanted more. So it was just a discussion of, just because something's gluten-free, dairy-free, or refined sugar, whatever you want to, that still doesn't mean you eat 10, 5, you guys.
Great point. Great point.
Yeah, just be, and I think the more you can be present while you're eating and enjoying, the more you can savor what you have those few bites versus needing 20 bites.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the eating is a vehicle to make conversations more smooth and interaction with people more smooth. But just focus on that interaction, focus on that person you haven't seen in a while, get to know what they've been doing, inquire, and you'll find yourself in a conversation, and the plate just, you're still holding the plate if you're all walking around, you know what I mean? You're in conversation and you're not thinking about eating. It's our awkwardness, our fear sometimes of silence between, oh, I don't know what to say to this person, I haven't seen him forever. It's just, hi, how you doing? What have you been up to? It's not, and I'm the worst. This is like, I'm preaching because I've had to learn this. I feel so awkward with strangers or someone I hadn't seen in a while, and the safe space is to just eat my meal, right? But that's not what it's about. Got to get out of ourselves. I'm speaking to myself. Inquire the other, because I really want to know. I just don't know how to start it, and we stumble on that, and then we miss our opportunity. So don't stumble through it. Nobody cares. That's what I'm finding out. Nobody cares, and they appreciate that you ask.
They so appreciate that you ask. So you guys, I hope this was helpful in such great tips, Dr. Heidi, of no need for New Year's resolutions because you're making one now. And if you can ask yourself really, like, every morning as you're starting your day, what is my plan for sleeping? Because sleep starts in the moment you get up, right? Like, so what is my sleep plan? Okay, I do have this going on tonight, but tonight it shouldn't be a problem to get to bed at my normal time. Just be aware, talk about it. Look at your sleep. You keep your hydration up. So maybe you need some extra mineral water around. Maybe you need to buy one of those little extra, supplements to have. Keep it with you in your purse or whatever. Add a little bit to make sure you're staying hydrated and plenty of water. And then, again, have fun, enjoy, but enjoy the people more than the food.
Absolutely. Focus on the people. The food's just secondary.
Secondary. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, always a pleasure. You guys, I hope you found something really valuable, right? And fun, and enjoy this holiday season. Don't let it just pass as another busy season. Really enjoy the people, the things, the experience, the time that you have, because it's always just such a gift.
Absolutely. Make it a gift, make it enjoyable. Yeah.
Make it a gift, make it enjoyable. I love those last words. All right, you guys. Well, until next week, we will see you all soon.
All right. Take care, everyone. Be well.